Posted to the r/chills narrator subreddit, Nick Chocolate 19 posted 2 videos from the same night on a doorbell cam. The Redditor writes, on January 10th, 2022 at approximately 9 p.m. that night, my family noticed something weird on the doorbell camera. The orb-like item kept coming into view and setting off the security alerts all night long. Any idea what this could have been? An orb can be seen floating on the right-hand side, and it doesn't appear to be going anywhere. The Redditor posted a second video writing, I posted a video yesterday about an orb on my doorbell cam. I'm posting another video because I want to show it couldn't be something like a helicopter. This is from 6:08 a.m. It did this all night from 9 p.m. The fact that the orb was visible all night makes it less likely that it's just a camera glitch in my opinion. What do you think this is? Is this phantom nurse here to heal you or to hurt you? Published by Luan Mendez in May of 2020. Luan and his crew are exploring an abandoned hospital whose staff hasn't really left. Wandering the halls, they seem to turn down one hallway where they seem to spot something skulking in the darkness. The thing must have disappeared, so they move on, continuing in their search, and that's when they see her, Nurse Ratchet.
Que é isso? Meu Deus! Que é isso?
They race away as fast as they can, and one of the crew falls unexpectedly to the ground. It almost looks like he was clotheslined by something invisible. The crew manages to make it out of the hospital alive, and that's no thanks to the creepy phantom nurse. It's midnight. Everyone's asleep, except for this ghost. Published by The Haunted One in August of 2020. This short clip shows a thirsty ghost having a nightcap. Watch closely as the bottle on the counter moves ever so slightly on its own. It slides from the middle of the island to the very edge. Is this ghost about to smash some glass, or is he just playing mind games? Either way, I definitely think this place is haunted. When you speak with a ghost, they just might answer. Published by Jorge Tello in August of 2019. A security guard was working in what looks like a hotel in London when he heard this sound. The guard is seen walking into the stairwell, asking what's there. He then re-enters the hallway, and as he's walking down it, he hears the wailing again.
Who's there?
After asking again, who's there, this creepy rasping voice answers. At first, the voice is incomprehensible, but then it clearly says, I see you.
Who's there? Where be?
What is watching the security guard? I don't think it could be anything good. A bolt lock can't keep the paranormal out. Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in April of 2021. This is a true house of horrors. As Russian paranormal investigator Dennis looks around the unsettling home, something appears to let itself in. Dennis backs off and shuts the door behind him, but that doesn't stop the unwelcome guest. After verifying that there's no one there, Dennis returns to his investigation. Close by, he hears a loud knock. Later, the wardrobe drawers open on their own. And what looks like newspaper is shoved up from one of them. Then the wardrobe doors open one at a time. The second one repeatedly swings open and shut. Dennis walks toward it and there's nothing inside, yet it continues to open and close. This occurs for several minutes. Later, he hears a noise. A bunch of racket draws him to this cupboard. It sounds like all the dishes inside are jumping around. Opening the cupboard doors, he finds nothing out of place. He then hears another noise and finds a bag moving as it hangs on the wall, like there's an animal trapped inside of it. He takes the bag from its hook and opens it, but again, there's nothing inside. When he puts it back down on the bed, it continues to move. What is inhabiting this haunted home? Whatever it is, it let itself in. Published by Tim Morozov in December of 2021, the paranormal investigator enters the most haunted of houses and encounters one of the most dangerous level 5 poltergeists he's ever faced off with. In the video, Tim draws a circle in chalk on the floor in the living room. Cameras are set up all around. He asks the spirits in the home to move things. After a time, something triggers one of his paranormal devices. The thermal imaging camera shows a great white orb floating in the vicinity. The orb passes by him where it hovers over the Ouija board. The planchette starts to spaz out all over the board. It doesn't seem to be spelling anything, it's just going berserk. The light then floats out of frame. After this, several items in the room float into the air. The light reappears and then seems to brush past Tim, knocking him to the floor. It comes back and knocks him again. Is this the most aggressive poltergeist you've ever seen? Tim left with his life this time, but next time he might not be so lucky. This is one of the world's most haunted hotels. It was a naval hospital during the 40s and once housed a morgue. Some of its most infamous guests never left. Published by Kelsey Davies in January of 2022, this paranormal investigator and her mom visited the haunted hotel. This is what they found. Kelsey first hears a child's voice as she's wandering the empty hall.
I came in. I just heard a little kid.
They continue to explore and hear more unexplained noises. After setting up a paranormal device, it starts to go off. They use copper dowsing rods to ask the spirits questions. They discover that one is named Lorraine. A short while later, Kelsey asks the young girl she's speaking with to trigger the device, and she does.
Device go off? Oh my god!
They then enter a creepy hallway, and using a Kinect app on the phone, they see a figure standing there. Later, she says she saw a man standing by the door out of the corner of her eye, one that she's seen before in the hotel.
You communicate with anyone, no negative entities, please. Oh my god, I just saw a man. There's a man down here. I think it's the same one.
And then the nearby paranormal device goes off. Is this ghost getting nearer? Here's hoping this spirit isn't stalking her. The Terror al Extremo crew wanders the abandoned grounds of this haunted witch's house. In the middle of a forest, they hear a shrill shriek. While it could be human, it could also be harmless. It sounds like a bird call, but shortly after, a figure that they capture in a window seems to suggest otherwise. Are the legends true? Is this the witch that's said to haunt this place? I'm starting to think that it wasn't a bird. Built in 1832, the Patrick Taylor Cottage is the most haunted and oldest house in Western Australia. Poltergeist activity has been reported every September, and some claim to have seen an apparition in military uniform with an arm sling. Many think the apparition is Major Frederick Ingoldby, a former tenant who passed away in the home in September of 1942. But why does he still haunt the place? Published by Amy's Crypt in January of 2022, Amy went to find out after the Albany Historical Society allowed her in after hours to investigate. The first activity is subtle, a light tap and a slight boom to see if these investigators are awake.
I heard that also.
Yeah, I just had a little tap in here. To anyone around this device?
After warming up their paranormal devices, a clock chiming sound is heard through the device.
That sounded like a clock.
It did it not?
Yeah.
There's a grandfather clock in the room. When they ask about the clock, they hear a light tap again.
I want to know about this clock.
Ooh, I heard that. That definitely came from in that room, huh?
They also hear footsteps and a knock.
I hear footsteps. I did hear a knock in there.
Although the sounds are always distant, like the spirit is avoiding them. Where is this reticent spirit? Is the Major trying to make his presence known while keeping these intruders at arm's length? Some people think photographs capture the soul. Maybe this soul didn't want to be captured. Published by Dark Life in June of 2021, this poltergeist isn't playing around. While snapping photos in this haunted room, Russian paranormal investigator Dennis hears a rustling that he says sounds like it's coming from the basement. As he continues to take pictures, a massive wardrobe to his right is pushed over onto the ground. He leaves the room, and when he goes to re-enter it, he hears some strange sparking noises while standing in the doorway. The sounds stop. He looks around, asks who is there, but no one answers. Still, he appears to sense something watching him. Is Dennis alone here, or are the spirits all around him? Thank you so much for getting me to 5,000 subscribers on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you.